Hello everyone, for today's video I have a full Galick Gun themed moveset. A few people did suggest this, especially on the Kamehameha Themed Moveset video I did a few weeks ago, but I held off from doing this video because I just had a feeling we'll get a new variation of the Galick Gun when the first DLC pack came out, and we have in the form of Galick Cannon, which belongs to Kaba or Kabe or however we're calling him, I don't know. So if you have a moveset suggestion for yourself, please feel free to leave them in the comments, and the best ones will be used for future videos. And of course, if you do enjoy these videos, please leave a like. So I did enjoy doing this video, but the moveset itself, it's a huge gimmick. I've said this for the Kamehameha video, and I think I said the same thing for the Kyle Ken video. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like this moveset, I like Galick Gun in general, but again, it's just a gimmick. For all intents and purposes, every attack I have on here, well, at least every super attack, it's basically the same thing. So firstly, for my transformation, I have Super Vegeta. I mean, Super Saiyan 3 for this moveset wouldn't really work because you need a lot of ki, and when you hit with a super attack here, you need to make sure it does a lot of damage, and Super Saiyan just increases your strike skills and not your super ki attacks. And of course, because Vegeta invented the Galick Gun, so it just makes sense to use Super Vegeta. And if you do use Super Vegeta 1 or Super Vegeta 2, and of course Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3 and stuff like that, and you use the regular Galick Gun and you fully charge it, it'll turn into a warp Galick Gun, so it's just useful to have that here. The Earth splitting Galick Gun and the Galick Beam Cannon, they're kind of the same thing really. I mean, there's not much to say here. You can't charge them up, they don't warp if you're Super Vegeta or Super Saiyan. On their own, they are decent super attacks. The Earth splitting Galick Gun in particular, even though it takes 2 bars of ki, it's still pretty fast to use and does a very respectable amount of damage. Galick Cannon is Kaba, Kabe, whatever. That's his new attack. The way this works is it takes 1 bar of ki to use, and if you press the same button again after you fire it, it will do more damage. Super Galick Gun as one of my ultimates. I've said this before, it's just a very good ultimate in general. You can use it to really do some serious damage on your opponent if you can use it fully charged, and even if you use it without charging it up, that's going to surprise your opponent and really give him a run for the money to an extent, so it's just good to use in general. I decided to pick Last Emperor as my second ultimate because, I mean, with this moveset, at the moment, there's only one Galick Gun ultimate, so instead of using like one of the generic attacks such as the generic full power energy wave or the full power energy blast volley ultimates, so with that in mind, I decided to pick Last Emperor because it kind of looks like, to an extent, a one-handed version of the Galick Gun, and because it's just a very interesting ultimate in general. I do use it in this video, but I don't think I actually hit with it, so I mean, it is very slow, but apparently it does a ton of damage. Armored boost as my evasive because, as far as I know, Vegeta doesn't have an exclusive evasive in the game, so I'm just figured, well, I might as well use Armored Boost because it is a fun evasive to use, but if your opponent knows how to deal with Armored Boost, then as soon as you come out of it, and if they have something like Shining Slash or they're Super Saiyan and have Kamehameha, Galick Gun or Evil Explosion, just to name a few, then they can time it so as soon as you come out of it, they'll just hit you. So you've basically just wasted 3 bars of stamina and you've taken damage. So I mean, I'd say use Instant Rise instead of Armored Boost, but if I used Instant Rise in this video, it wouldn't really be that interesting in my opinion, so that's why I picked it. As we go into the first fight, my opponent has times 100 Big Bang Kamehameha and Sphere of Destruction, which, I mean, Big Bang Kamehameha, it's good to connect with, you can use it in various situations, but with the Sphere of Destruction, you can only realistically use it if your opponent is in a recovery animation because it just takes too long to use. Like I said at the start of the video, this moveset is a huge gimmick. Now, it's fun to use, don't get me wrong, but it's not very efficient. So you do need to play very defensively, and you need to know when your opponent is going to vanish and if they're going to back hit you. I do have a decent idea already on when this guy will vanish, but as far as him using back hits, I don't really know yet, so I need to try and figure that out. I go for Super Vegeta 1 here because, I mean, really, I do need to use that, especially with this moveset. I go for the swing kick, expecting him to dash into me or to rush into me. He doesn't. He transforms there into Super Saiyan 2, I believe. I use the homing dash to break his guard, hit him with a very fast Super Galick Gun, and now I'm just unleashing a basic combo on him. I don't really use any stamina because, I mean, like I've already said, I need to play defensively. I vanished there and he didn't go for the back hit, so I'm thinking, does this guy know how to do it, or was I just too fast and he didn't predict when I was going to vanish? It doesn't matter either way, but I'd still like to work it out and see if he does go for any back hits. He goes for the stamina break there and I perfect block it. Then I go for a heavy smash. I knew he was going to vanish there, hence why I went for the back hit. And as we come out of the clash, we go into a second clash immediately. So now I do have a lot of ki and stamina, so I go for Super Vegeta 2, and the animation for Super Vegeta 2 looks so weird. He goes for the ×10 Kamehameha, so I'm thinking maybe I can hit him with the earth splitting Galick Gun, but it's just too slow. Well, I was too slow in using it. I break his guard here and go for a fully charged Super Galick Gun, and because he's in the recovery animation, I'm able to connect with it. I think now he has the Zenkai boost, and if he doesn't, then he will by the next time I hit him, so I do need to be slightly more careful. So my controller is about to die, and he dropped out of his transformation there, then went back to Super Vegeta 2. I mean, earlier I thought it was Super Saiyan 2, but it was actually Super Vegeta. So there he went for the Sphere of Destruction, and I don't know why, unless he was just panicking and he didn't know what else to do, because so far in this fight I've proven to him that I can make him use his stamina, and I know when he's going to do it, and I can predict it. So maybe he was thinking, well, I can use one final last attempt. I mean, it's not going to work. I go for the homing dash there, or the aura burst, or whatever, hit him once, and that's going to be game. So this next guy, oh my god, he was very good. I couldn't get a read on him at all. Like, I just couldn't predict when he's going to do something. I don't know if he was just a very good player or if he was just playing randomly, but either way, I take my fedora off to you because this was just a very nice fight. So he has ×20 Kaioken Kamehameha and Weekend as his two ultimates. I mean, you rarely see Weekend now because it was a noob attack in Xenoverse 1, only because Raditz was a mentor very early on in Xenoverse 1, and if you complete the story mode in Xenoverse 2, you can just complete all the mentor missions in like every single one of them in like 30 minutes, maybe an hour, if that, if you just rush through them. So, I mean, it is a decent ultimate attack, don't get me wrong, it's a good ultimate, but you just don't see people use it that much now, which is kind of a shame, I guess. So I went for the Galick Cannon here. It misses. Well, I mean, some of it did hit, but for the most part, it missed. So I mean, this guy, he's just weird, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in the sense that I just can't get a read on him. He goes for the back hit here after I vanish, which tells me a lot. It tells me that he knew I was going to vanish. I did try and perfect block it, but we were just too far away. I don't know why that happened, but yeah. If you're just watching carefully there, he was able to vanish in a situation where he couldn't normally. So I don't know if the game glitched out there and there's a bit of lag, but whatever. And he turned Super Saiyan 3 there, and I really do wish I didn't break his guard because he's going to be able to get a full bar of stamina back. He's going to take a lot of damage, but not enough to pull him away. If anything, he'll get the Zenkai boost, and I have no stamina, and he has a lot of stamina. So, you know, I need to be super careful. I think I went for the homing dash there out of habit, and maybe, well, not desperation, because, I mean, I'm in an okay position right now. It's just that this guy kind of threw me off guard to begin with because he's just very random, so I guess there's that. Now, in a moment, we're going to go for a clash, and as we exit it, he's going to hit me with the Kaioken Kamehameha, and that does a ton of damage. I mean, you have to remember, he's a Saiyan, so he gets the Zenkai boost, and he's Super Saiyan 3. Now, granted, and as far as I know, Super Saiyan 3 only boosts your strike attacks. It does give you a boost to your ki-based attacks, but it's nothing too big or too important. But again, you have to remember, he's got the Zenkai boost now, so like, if he hits me with an ultimate and I can't get out of it, it's going to finish me off. If I had something like After Image or Phantom Fist, maybe Instant Transmission on this moveset, that would help me out a lot because, I mean, you can see right now, I have max ki, and I can't predict when this guy is going to move somewhere, so I can't really use a super or an ultimate on him, as I proved right there. I went for the Super Galick Gun, it didn't connect, it misses, and thankfully, his ×20 Kaioken Kamehameha didn't connect either. If it did, that probably would have put me away. And as you saw, I went for a second Super Galick Gun, that also missed. And I also went for a Galick Beam Cannon after the clash, and that also missed. And here he got to the stamina break, and I blocked it, so now I have a few seconds, well, more like half a second really, to hit him with something. I did think I had enough ki to hit him with the earth splitting Galick Gun, but that takes 2 bars of ki, and obviously I didn't have 2 bars of ki to use. So I know I've already won at this point because there's only a few seconds left. So I go for the Last Emperor. It didn't connect, but that would have been a beautiful finish to this very intense fight. So thank you guys for watching so far. Of course, there'll be more fights in this video. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video.